What up, guys? Kevin here. Pentiment, PS5. I played it. It's a lot of P's. Uh, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about my impressions of Pentiment. Now, the first time I played it when it launched on Game Pass for 10 minutes, and I went, nope, nope. But the game came to PlayStation, and I want to support that. I want to support Xbox games going to PlayStation. PlayStation games go to Xbox. I want to support that. PlayStation games go to Nintendo. I want to support that. I want games going everywhere. And the game's only $20. And when you're on PlayStation, you support the devs. For $20, I can support the devs. And I love Obsidian. Pentiment, though. We got to talk about Pentiment. I put about 2 to 3 hours. And while I liked it, I also didn't like it. And it's a game where I'm like, no, I'm done. But tomorrow I can see me getting the itch of just being back in this world. It's a very interesting world. What is this world of Pentiment? Pentiment takes place in some little, Bavarian little village town, whatever. And you play Andreas, dude who's just like visiting as a guest. And he's a painter, scripter, manuscripter, artist, I would call it. And he hangs out at the Abbey. They got a scriptorium, which I guess those are going out of style because printing has become a thing. And it's just him and like two old dudes and a dickwad named Guy keeping that scriptorium alive. And yeah, they create their masterpieces, their manuscripts. And Andreas is working on his, and one of the old guys, my favorite, Piero, he's working on this douche, the Baron. He's a high-class guy. And he comes in and checks on it, and is like, no, this sucks, and gives it to Andreas to work on it. And then we finally have our first murder, except it takes quite a while to get there. And it's a very... I don't want to call it dry, but I am somebody who didn't go to church, never read the Bible, never did any of that stuff. It's just all silly to me. No offense to anyone, but I don't know. Look, I don't know. I'm going to become a biblical bigot, but it's just dry as hell. It's dry and boring. And that's a lot of this subject matter. It takes place around this abbey. And there's a lot of characters. Not saying that the characters are all dry and boring, but that's a lot of the subject matter. I saw reviews where, reviewers, they grew up going to church and knowing all these people and figures. They love the game. For me, it's just, I'm trying, but it's just dry to me. Just absolutely dry. And it's a lot of talking. That's all you do in this game is just talk. When you talk to one person, guess what you do? You walk over a few feet and talk to another person. And it takes a while for the game to get going. However, I will say that I started to feel like I belonged in this world. There was a couple times where I'm like, oh, I want to check on Otto or Clara. There's little side missions where it is a Obsidian game where there's RPG elements. You get to pick your class and skills. Like I was like an astrologer, I was a logical person. So I had like a lot of logical text options that, would be fun to see play out in other ways if I chose something else. So that is there. And I do like how it keeps track of everyone you talk to. Every now and then it gives you selection, that they will remember this. Those type of selections where like, hey, this is an important thing. It'll tell you, and then there'll come a time in the game where you talk to the person, like I guess something important. They're going to ask you, and they'll even give you all the options you chose before, kind of saying, hey, did you do good enough to choose something, to get them on your side, to not get them on your side, to see something out here. It is very Obsidian in that way. But again, it's just a bunch of talking. Now, I think people who love reading and like something a little bit more interactive will love this. Where I am somebody who loves gaming and playing a game like this just makes me go, I just rather read a book. Read a book. It does make me feel smart though. It's definitely one of these games where I feel smarter after playing it. I do feel it is the first time in a while I played a game and felt had that I felt like I used my brain a little bit. Probably just trying to understand all this terminology, and it's very beautiful artwork. You can kind of exit out of the game and it kind of goes into this book where you can see a glossary and it's all very finely printed manuscript lettering, and you can choose the default option of the script where it can be really, really hard to read, and there's an easy read font option. But what's cool though is like if you're talking to someone who is like lower class, like a hillbilly or one of the farm people, their script is very, basic. Where you talk to like the Baron or one of the higher class people, it's very elegant text. It's just very beautiful. Like the attention to detail in this game is just awesome. And I appreciate it that way. But yeah, in the end, it's just kind of dry. There's nothing really that is getting my rocks off. Solving murders and stuff, never really been my thing. I'm not a Law and Order SVU type guy. I don't watch those shows. Somebody murdered somebody, somebody did it. And I got to the first one and I felt like it was kind of awkward how I got shoved into like, why is this on me to figure out? Why do I got to solve it? I didn't get much further than that. But I was, I would say I was happy to see the person who got murdered. I was like, yep, good. And then they give you like 4 suspects and then you got to investigate. It's one of those type of games. But yeah, cool. I can appreciate it. Like my score is I can appreciate it out of 10, just not for me. I'm glad it exists. The art is amazing. There's no voice acting. I can understand why I see people call for voice acting. That'd be really cool if they did. That might make it more enjoyable for me. Just because it is a lot of reading. Like I got kind of a headache now from just reading my my beautiful OLED TV. Like, so many words. I know, my beautiful OLED TV that I got to read words on. But yeah, pretty cool game. Cool game. I would say check it out, but if it's not for you and you get it on PlayStation, you just basically threw $20 away. Still on Game Pass. Steam, you can try it out for a couple hours. And the thing is, yeah, you can try it out for up to 2 hours and then you can return it, but you're not going to get very far. This game, I did Google if it's a slow start, and like, because it's just not much is happening. And I'm reading online like, yeah, that's it. I mean, the first 2 hours is basically the entire game, but I don't know if that's to be true. So just be aware if you do get it on Steam and you want to see if you like it. If you're waiting for it to get going, I don't know. I don't know if it happens. It does pick up a little bit, I guess, after the first murder, but that first murder took like 2.5 hours to get to. Like, seriously. Anyways, that is my sentiment on Pentiment. I will talk to you later. Later.